Hey, good morning, good afternoon. It is time for a generator chat. And today we have a good, friendly, opinionated expert in marketing. His name is Tim Gillette, and we've grown to really enjoy all that Tim offers. We were just having such a great conversation. We're like, it's 10:10. It's time to say hi to everyone.
Gosh, we're going to go live.
So we're live. So welcome to the show, Tim. And you have inspired us to do these generator chats and to do our Facebook Lives. So we thank you. Yeah, we've been going since April 1st, rather consistently. So it's a joy to have you here. Welcome.
Glad to see you guys are actually out there. And I'm glad to see a lot of coaches now are doing this. All right. First of all, StreamYard is a great tool oh my gosh. I fell in love with StreamYard when I found it. You know, I teach this all over my thing. You know what I mean? Get out there and do something and do it consistently, So, yeah, I'm glad to see you guys are doing it. I'm glad to see some of the guests you guys are bringing on. All right. Some of the conversations you guys are having with this. It's changing. This is what changes the world is when people like you step up to the plate and go, you know what? It's an investment, but I'm going to invest some money. I'm going to invest some time and I'm going to go do it.
Yeah. And, the reality is it's not that much of an investment, a little bit more time, but really there's nothing better to do than get to know people, get to network with people and see how we can help each other and grow together as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as just people helping commerce, really, the way I kind of think about it.
Well, and what Tim offers, every small business owner needs the marketing and the connection, and the way you present it is just so concise these days that I love it, and it has a lot of personality.
Yes, it does.
So I try to be a flamboyant personality. What can I say? But anyway.
You do that well.
I know. I just have fun in life.
Right.
But, most of everything, Terry, Christine, most everything I learned in doing this was because I had to figure it out. I had to do something because in the beginning, I didn't have a marketing budget to spend 10 grand a month in ads on Facebook and YouTube and Google and to get people to come get my free offer. So what do? I just turned the broadcast thing on and broadcast. In the beginning, I couldn't afford that. So I wrote a blog. You know what I mean? We go to networking functions because we don't know anybody. So we go to meet people. And you know what I mean? As you build your business, you invest into bigger and better places. That's what I've done throughout the years. And I think you guys have been doing almost as long as I have. I've been in this 10 years. So.
Yeah, I've been working with people for a lot longer than 10 years. But as far as in the coaching business, probably about 4 years ago. But, and I got started by basically getting tired of mental health and the idea that people are broken in some way, because I just never really seen that. I've only seen that people are they don't have the tools to focus on how to grow the way they want. And then the default is there must be something wrong with me. And I got tired of it. And I got tired of people thinking that way. So I got away from the mental health model altogether because of that. How did you start in the entrepreneurial field?
Well, it started as an entrepreneur because basically I got sick of being fired. That was 30 some odd years ago. But I was fired a lot from jobs because I had a mouth and I really didn't care to listen. The unique advice I got in 1988, the year my daughter was born, I worked 2 jobs. I worked for a car dealership during the day in Massachusetts, and I worked at a Texaco gas station at night. And the Texaco gas station at night also had a towing business that went along with it. And the owner of that guy, his name was Frank, he said something to me one night because I was a second shift. I wasn't a full-time employee with that company. And the guy who was the full-time employee would come in the middle of the night and get in the way of the gas station. So I'm trying to take care of customers, and this guy's got his car in my way, and he's bringing his buddies in, and they're being noisy, and I just can't operate the business. So I go to Frank and I said, man, Frank, I just can't operate this place at night when, this kid's name was Dave. And I said, this Dave just keeps coming in and getting in the way on my shift. What do I do? And Frank said, Tim, he says, I want you to think of this business as your business. He says, when you get here at 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 o'clock, when you close this station up at night, you own this place. every decision that happens, whether it's, making money with the customers or losing money with the customers, it's on you. And imagine you have to pay the paychecks of everybody who comes in, and you got to pay the bills to keep the lights on, and you've got to buy more gas. All right. And he says, I want you to imagine you got to do that. And I want you to run this company from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. like you are the one responsible for it. And as a 22-year-old kid, I learned to take responsibility real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
When you realize what it costs to run, gas station. Oh my gosh, I got so smart on life going, oh my God, if I had to pay that out, I wouldn't pay that out. What am I getting for this $100 I'm spending? And it's like, I took on a whole new perspective of taking ownership in what I do. And that was probably the day. It's not probably the first time I became an entrepreneur. I think that the mindset of entrepreneur probably got created in the 1970s when I watched my dad get laid off and laid off and laid off and laid off for no reason other than the trucking industry was getting deregulated. And every job he went to, they were eliminating the jobs. They were eliminating the positions. They were eliminating things that he did. And like he had to go from one job to another because companies were folding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the one year I remember it happening and there was no vacation that summer. And I said, whoa, no company is ever going to tell me and my family they can't go on vacation. And that turned me into a loudmouth that got fired a lot, and which eventually got me into a part-time job where a guy said, you got to take responsibility for you. All right. And at the time I had a daughter, I had a wife, I had a house to feed, a house to take care of, a house to keep feed. I lived in Massachusetts in the wintertime. I had to keep the heat on, things like that. That's where I learned to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's definitely a mindset and a commitment to yourself because you are like, even at 23, you're like, okay, I'm doing it all now. It's all my responsibility. And that's really, truly what an entrepreneur is, at least starting out.
Yeah.
Right. There's a saying that really, well, he passed away now, but an old guy used to say to me that the only true freedom, the only true bondage is absolute freedom is how it goes. And so you are responsible for everything.
Yeah.
When you're working for a business, they're paying your bills, they're paying your insurance. You're basically locked into them and they're caring for you. But when you decide you're going to run your own business, where you're going to run your own life, where you're going to make sure that everything is all on you, that's where you really have to step up and take control of your life. And everything is your responsibility. Yeah. And I'll never forget that when he said that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, and so many people are looking at entrepreneurism and they're thinking like, well, man, I can get me a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or what. Dude, I got news for you. That doesn't happen that way. When I got the mortgage to get this house that we're in, we built it 2.5 years ago. We started building this house and rebuilding it, should we say. And I'm applying for a mortgage for the first time in my life. I'm in my 50s. I'm 52 years old. And I'm applying for a mortgage for the first time. And the lady at the bank goes, you're getting your first house at 52. And I'm like, no, I'm getting my first mortgage. She goes, what do you mean? You've owned houses and never got a mortgage? I'm like, yeah, I always paid cash for them. She's, how do you pay cash for a house? And I didn't have luxurious houses. They were small homes, but I paid cash for them. She goes, how do you pay cash for a house? And he says, well, I learned after going through 2 wives that if you don't cover the roof over your head as an entrepreneur, they leave. So when I had a good year, I paid for the house. Now I've got a roof over their head and they might stay a little longer. Yeah, just concept I learned the hard way.
So funny.
Yeah.
Then it's just a mouth thing then.
Yeah, it's
mouth.
Yeah, I've owned the fanciest car I ever owned was a Porsche. I had a Porsche, the 911, or it wasn't called 911. It's called the C4S in 2003 or 4. I can't remember what year exactly it was. I bought it in 2004 and literally got rid of it in 6 months' time. Fancy car. I'm not going to tell you it's not a cool car. It was a cool car, but for a tall, lanky guy like me to get into a Porsche was very hard. So it wasn't that neat for me to have. I learned I didn't like luxurious cars. I did like Harley Davidsons, and I got 1 million miles on them to prove it. But I drive a truck. I literally just recently drove a good friend of mine's Mercedes from Los Angeles to here for him. And I'm going to tell you, he's got, it's my buddy Craig's got a really cool Mercedes. Not going to doubt it. Really cool Mercedes SUV. Very comfortable to drive in. All right. But I couldn't wait to get back in my Dodge truck.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, you like Mercedes, great. Make that your goal and go get one. But when you get to the point where your life is so offset so you can afford the Mercedes, you're not free.
Right.
I drive my Dodge truck and I'm kind of free. Doesn't mean that I don't have months that I'm going, oh crap. Every now and then you can, oh crap, I got to go out and make money. But for the most part, I have enough assets that if any point in time I'm in the hole, I can sell an asset off and get myself out of that hole in a heartbeat.
I think that's something you learn as an entrepreneur too, is to have the multiple assets to keep you going in case there's some randomness that happens in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's also a good lesson that people in jobs need to learn too, because what they create is they create this artificial connection to their job, and then they're stuck. And if there's a problem with their job, then they are in trouble because they don't learn how to diversify assets or create multiple streams of income. Mm-hmm. And so one of the biggest things that I think we learned as we became entrepreneurs, and I mean, I've been unemployable for a long time, because I always question the system and how they're doing whatever they're doing. It doesn't really go good for having a job for too long. But it really brought home this idea that you can't count on anything that somebody else is giving to you. And while we want to work with and trust the brilliance of others, trust working with others, we don't want to rely on it. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that, what I'm hearing you say, we don't want to rely on it, and we don't want to make the nice car or something like that the goal.
Yeah,
there's got to be something bigger.
I mean, they're great to have as goals, but one of the coolest narratives I learned in investment, most people don't ever think of how to invest their money. And truthfully, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, the simplest of things, and you guys do more with this in helping your clients than I do with mine. I help mine do, marketing online. But if you had $1,000 right now, and if you bought, there's certain stocks that you bought would pay you about $11 or $12 a month in dividends.
Yeah.
And literally, that's $1,000 you let sit there, and a year later, all right, you get another $100 out of that money. That's investing properly, as opposed to, well, I got $1,000. Well, let me go buy a brand new iPhone. Big difference. Now,
it is.
If you had an extra $100,000 to invest, now you can put $50,000 there. That's going to earn you quite a bit more money in dividends or something like that. But now you can go buy the brand new iPhone. Yeah. Last year, the year before, I thought about buying a Cadillac Escalade. I was going to trade my truck and get a Cadillac Escalade because I really don't need a pickup anymore. But I'm like, yeah, an Escalade would be a cool SUV to have, things like that. Yeah. And I looked at it. That's a $100,000 vehicle. Well, unless, if I make an extra $50,000 a year, I don't go buy a $100,000 vehicle.
Right.
That's just smarts. All right. I also don't take out a loan to do that.
Right.
Now, my truck was a $55,000 truck. I mean, it's not a cheap truck. I mean, it's a damn nice truck, but it's 5 years old. And it has upkeep to it. All right. That's the thing. That Cadillac Escalade, $1,000 a month it's going to cost me. Plus, it's going to cost me a couple $100 a month to maintain it.
Keep it shiny because it's an Escalade.
Yeah. But there's things that most people aren't thinking about when they think about, buying the toys. Mm-hmm. House. I live in a condo. All right, a 2-bedroom condo. I don't live in a fancy house. We had a 3,300 square foot house on a lake 5-6 years ago now. We sold it. It was part of my father-in-law's house, and we had a whole second floor with 2 master suites put onto it, and we lived there for a long time. But when he passed away, we're like, we don't need this big house anymore.
Yeah, use it as the investment that it was.
Yeah. So we sold it and bought a condo. I live in an 1,100 square foot condo. The truth is this condo is not an investment. Most people sit there and go, yeah, your home is an investment. This condo ain't an investment. This condo is an expense.
Yep.
I have every month. I got a mortgage. Every month I got insurance. Every year I got taxes. Every month I've got to fix something into it. This ain't an investment, my friend. All right.
Yeah,
Can it
exactly.
be an investment? Yes. Over the long period of time, I may be able to sell this condo for more than I paid for it. But
then it becomes the investment.
Yeah. But there's also a chance that over a long period of time, I could have to sell it and sell it for less than I paid for it.
Yep.
As well as the fact that I had to pay maintenance to keep it up. That's investment. That's being an entrepreneur. That's the true spirit of what we do. All right. And I know you guys help more people with that side. I help people in the marketing side. All right. About how to get your message out. Because when I got started in speaking, I started with a blog. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
All right. My message originally was, you know what I mean, how to stand out and be a rock star in your personal life. Not many people are looking for that. It wasn't a saleable product. You know, we moved to the rock.
Looking now.
Huh?
I said a lot more now are looking for that now. It seems like the area is growing a little bit. But can you also, while you're talking about what you're doing, give us an idea who your ideal client is and what kind of experiences they're having that would say, I need Tim Gillette?
So yeah, everybody I help needs to get their message out. And they're usually working with a small to limited budget for marketing. So in other words, they don't have the 10 grand a month to spend on ads to wheel into what would be a normal funnel. The people that I help, now I actually run a conference every year called Blog and VideoCon, where we teach these concepts of getting the right mindset, getting the right message, using tools like blogs, videos, live stream videos, podcasts, you know, repurposing them into books, tapes, and programs. My customers that are out there, the guys that I really want to help and they get into my mastermind one-on-one, first of all, they've learned to build the assets to actually go out and build a business. So if you want to actually take your marketing and start building your own following and not rely on social media, then that's the people I help. If you want to get started with a blog or a podcast or something, the first thing I'm going to ask you is how many Facebook friends do you have? How many people do you have following you on YouTube? How many people do you have following you on Instagram? You know, name them. All right. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, LinkedIn, all of them. If you come to me and you don't have 1,000 followers or friends or connections on social media, go get that first before you join our programs. I'm sorry. You're spinning wheels if you don't have that. You need a combination of 1,000 people following you that we can work with and build a marketing plan off of it. If you are out there going, well, what do I do if I don't have that? That's why we have a conference called Blog and VideoCon that you can come and learn how to get started and get going. And then when you're ready to take it to the next level, we'll help you with our mastermind. Now I have an elite program that actually does this very intensely, goes with people who are going, okay, I need to start building this and ramping it up and get ready to outsource it. So we go with a 1 year, and usually we go to 18 months, not 1 year, but it's defined in our programs as a 1 year program to take you basically from 20,000 to 100,000 followers and monetize that. Our whole mission in life and everything we do is to build 10,000 entrepreneurs who are out there marketing using blogs, vlogs, or podcasts, live streams, helping them get 10,000 followers and then helping them monetize it properly so they're making $10,000 a month in recurring income from it.
Nice.
So what does that mean? That doesn't mean that I'm going to tell you, hey, join my multi-level marketing. I'm going to help you make $10,000. No, I'm going to come to you and see what your business is and how we can market it and make sure online marketing is working for you, even if you're just starting out. Being proper with it, being smart with it. What I've found over the years is structuring it right. Like we were talking about investment.
Yeah.
You want to be able to afford that Cadillac Escalade. Great. You're going to find a way to make $100,000 a year, but you're not going to spend $100,000 a year. You're going to have $50,000 a year that you live on, and you're going to be investing $50,000.
Yep. I love that.
It is again. This weekend, my cat brought a mouse into the house and got loose from him, and we're still trying to find the damn mouse.
That's a toy.
Anyway.
We have had that happen. Mm-hmm. It is very interesting, especially when you have 4 cats and 1 mouse.
I would love that because one of the other cats would have got it.
Oh,
yeah. We definitely have 2 hunters, 1 player, and I'm just gonna lay here and watch you guys.
Yeah, but first of all, is he shouldn't have brought it in the house.
Right.
All right. I realize you're hungry and you want to eat this mouse. All right. You spent weeks out there pacing and waiting for him to show up. He showed up, you bring him in the house, and you just set him down, and he's not dead yet. Guess what? He's going to run from you.
Exactly. So you were talking about blog and video con. I know that it's probably an astronomical fee to go to this thing. What is the investment to go to that?
Well, we have a ticket. I think they're like $197 or $297. You go to blogandvideocon.com. Very, very inexpensive to go. You know what I mean? If you're on my list, every now and then we run a sale, but it's only to the people on my list. Well, you can get on my list though. Anyway.
Wait a minute. I think we're on your list. I think we go to that.
We follow Tim on Facebook because he's adding value consistently in little snippets that people can consume and act on immediately.
Well, that's it. I mean, you've got to feed your audience wherever you're going. You feed them. And once you feed them, you lead them to a next step. Right.
And one of the things that I really like about you is, and every time I've ever been around you, whether it's live in person or it's been on this type of thing. Now my cat is making holes in the blinds. But we got cat problems going all over the place. But the thing that I love about you is you make it fun no matter what you're doing, and your podcasts and your live streams are always fun, informative, and really engaging. And I really love that too. It's just, you're one of the people I love to follow all the time.
Well, thank you. So, it's getting out there and learning that, you know what I mean? You've got to be sometimes entertaining, sometimes, encouraging, sometimes you've got to be empowering, and sometimes you got to educate. It's never the same thing. And I had to find my own speaking voice. Is that what you want to say? My coach is a very, very energetic guy when he's on stage. I know him personally, and in personal life, he's very, very upbeat and personally. But I've seen him speak on two different stages, and he was two different people because he adapted to his audiences. And I'm like, oh man, I got to learn that trick. So I started to learn how to adapt to my audience, how to be the energetic guy in my audience, and how to be educational on my here from my house, right? Two different things that I do. Am I that upbeat, energetic guy all the time when I'm at home? No, I'm an introvert, and I love to hide in my own little corner. And if I can make $1 million a year doing it, I would do it, but it doesn't work that way. You've got to get out there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. So you were actually just talking about your coach. Can you give us a little idea about what coaching has done for you and what the benefits of coaching are?
And how it is an investment in your business and self?
Yeah, very, very good question there, Terry. And I've worked with several throughout the years. One of the first coaches that I ever worked with was this lady named Rhonda, and I don't even know if she's in the business anymore. She taught me about how to be a coach. She was a coach helping coaches build their niche. And she was very valuable because she taught me about how just being me. Now, I'm in this game because I used to clean Zig Ziglar's car long before Zig gave up speaking and before he passed away. Unfortunately, I waited to get into this after Zig was done helping people. And 2 years into my business, Zig Ziglar passed away. And that's how I get into it. Very valuable relationship I had. And you could almost call it coaching with Zig. Because, Zig was a friend, but if you asked him a question, he would ask you a question back to get you to think about what you were just saying to him. That's the value I've learned in relationships. Now, my mentor now and has been for the past 8 years is Craig Duswalt. And Craig Duswalt is a personal friend of mine. You and I have connected at his conferences. I've been to Craig's houses. I think since I've met him, I've been to every one of his houses. You know what I mean? We're friends as well. But there was a point in time that Craig had to be my coach. And the original investment, the very first time I joined his mastermind, I didn't have the money to join, but I had a $50,000 motorcycle. And I remember being at his conference. He offers his mastermind, and I want to say it was like $3,000 or $4,000 at the time. I don't remember a year, and I didn't have that. But I was driving around a motorcycle that was a $750 a month payment, all right, because I paid $50,000 for it. And I'm sitting there going, do I really want to build my business? And I remember calling home and telling my girlfriend, wife now, but girlfriend at the time, and saying, you know what? I'm joining this mastermind. I have enough money in the bank account for the down payment. If I have to, I'm selling that damn motorcycle to do this because it's time to invest in my business and stop investing in my feel goodness.
Right.
And that was the investment I made. I was willing to give up. Now, that motorcycle was a dream for me.
Mm-hmm.
I waited my whole life to get that. I wanted that motorcycle. And when they finally came out with it in that color, and I bought one of 2,000 of them, and I rode that thing till I literally rode the daylights out of that bike, and I kept it. My wife said, no, we'll find a way to keep the bike and you to build the business and join the coaching, because the coaching is not just about investing money in the coaching program, but having the money to do the things and invest in the tools needed. This is a tool. We're on StreamYard. My clients come to me, and if they can't afford things like StreamYard to broadcast out, it's like, why are you in my program if you can't afford the tools it takes to build your business?
Right.
There's investment in money, but it's not just the money to the coach. It's the money that you're going to have to invest in the tools to do what the coach tells you to do. Then it's time. Investment in time. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten on a flight to go to a mastermind meeting in California. Every 3 months, I'm there at a mastermind meeting to grow my business. That's investment in time. Investment in time, investment in the fact that I've got to spend 3 days outside of my house. I've got to get on flights to go do it. All right. That's investments that you're going to have to put in to make your business work.
Right.
The truth is, if you're not willing to invest to go meet your coach and you want to get your coach, well, I don't want to leave. I want you to talk to me on the computer. No, I've literally flown to California to meet my coach one-on-one, got a rent-a-car, spent 2 nights at a hotel up by his house so that I could go meet him at his country club to get a coaching session. And we weren't on the computer where right now I can have 3 things over here that can distract me, 3 that can distract me. There was nothing. We were sitting in here, and the only thing I could look anything up on was my cell phone, and I could barely do it because there wasn't much reception there. Because it was coaching time, not, yeah, let me listen to you while I go over here and look at this on Facebook. Coaching time takes time as well as money, and you've got to invest to listen to the coach. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Craig, man, I listened more than I talked. And I see a lot of people getting into his coaching program as well as others. Some of the distinguished ones that I'm in around the country. You know, I want to join Joe Polish's program, but I'm not just quite there yet. But I'm in Frank Kern's Inner Circle, now called the Network, but it was called the Inner Circle when I joined it. You know, they take time, the time to educate. You know?
Yeah, and for those people that don't know who he is, he's a marketing brilliance. Wrote thousands of books, guidelines for everybody. Yeah, that's
Frank Kern is the #1 internet marketer in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. He is the #1 internet marketer in the world, and he teaches internet marketing as well as he has several other things going. And I fully follow Frank. I'm not in any of Frank's elite. I'm not in his one-on-one consulting programs. No, I'm in his inner circle. That's $300-400 a month. So, but every month when he teaches something, I have to invest in tools to do it.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about Joe Polish. For those people.
Joe Polish has the Genius Network, and you know what I mean. I don't know Joe personally yet. I've only connected with him through many people. Some of the most elite people, all right, in the coaching space and the online marketing space are in Joe Polish's Genius Network Mastermind. And it's a mastermind that's $25,000 a year. That's a huge financial investment. But when you invest that money, you also have to show up at 2 meetings a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, I'm going to just put the money in, and because I put the money in, I'm going to graduate. That's like paying for your college and never showing up to class. You know what I mean? It don't work that way. It's an investment. Twice a year, I've got to go to, when I join that, I've got to go to his, I think he holds them in Phoenix, Arizona area. I've got to go to Phoenix, and I've got to be at the mastermind. That's extensive, but like the elite people are in that. You're talking like, I think like Larry Wingett is in it. That gentleman, Sean, who passed away last year in the wheelchair, he was in it. Nick, whatever, what's Nick's name? I can't think of it. JP Sears. I think Tony's part of it as well. But elite people are in this mastermind. That's my next place to be, where most people are going like me. And I want to be there to be around Tony. No, I don't want to be there around Tony. I want to be there because I want to learn what the geniuses are learning.
from the greats. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Doug says the Genius Network is the bomb. Is the bomb. I hear, yeah, he has some friends that are in it, and they just swear by it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just the energy and the ideas, and masterminding alone, just being around people that have had the excellence that you're looking for, and the wisdom that they want to share in the mastermind. No matter what level you're at, someone has something to share that another hasn't learned. I think masterminds are invaluable for that.
And I think one of the things that's really interesting about all of these people that we're talking about, Larry Wingett, Joe Polish, Tony, all of these different people, when I find when we started, it was overcomplicating, overthinking, and all of these people who are at that top level, it's about simplicity and being able to do something simple, take action on it, get it done instead of overthinking it. And I know for me, when we first started a couple of years back, we were overthinking everything and worried about how to do all this and that and the other thing. When we started actually taking suggestions and learning from the brilliance of others, it really is about the simplicity. Talking to you, we talked about just doing a podcast or just doing live streaming and just do it. And so we started doing it and figuring it out. And we're by no means great at it, but we're doing it and we get better all of the time.
Hey, if you want to learn, all right, and really plug into a guy who can help you take it to the next level, I know a guy. I'm just saying, I know a guy.
Do you?
That's what we brought you here to share, so everybody can join. So let's cover that. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Tim?
So first of all, you can go to my website. All right. I do actually still have the website because I used to look like Tom Petty. Not TomPetty.com is a basic to get there that you won't forget. No. All right. But my name, TimGillette.com, takes you to my website. I host a conference, blog and video con. You see the big old sticker back there. We do virtual events called Simple Easy Events as well. I've got a million websites that I can tell you to, but the basics. My name is Tim Gillette. I know it's not the sexiest sounding name, all right, but it's the one God gave me, or at least my mom and dad gave me, so I'm going to give them credit. But I at least own TimGillette.com, and the best marketing advice I can give you, you better own your own name.com. And if you don't, you need to talk with a good coach and come up with a good angle name to get people to your site. So
we do own terrywager.com.
We do. I think we got Christine McGinley too.
It just doesn't exist. I just own my domain, as you say. So when is your next event coming up?
So I have a virtual event on September 19th. SimpleEasyEvents.com. All right, we'll take you to that one. And we are right now, I don't have all the details on this right now, and we're still trying to put it all together because we just got the go-ahead from the city of Dallas on Friday. Nice. Like literally on Friday, that we're going to be hosting Blog and Video Con in November 5th, 6th, 7th here in Dallas, Texas. You know what I mean? And we're going to have it it's going to be at the Marriott. So I can say the hotel, you can't book your room yet, but it's going to be at the Marriott in Las Colinas. It's right on a beautiful lake. And we've got the ballroom there, and so excited that we're able to actually host a live event. And we finally got the go away to do it. So it's Blog and Video Con, CON.com, takes you to that thing to find out about that event.
So would it be spelled just like the way you have it right behind you?
No, blog and the word and is in there. Blog and video is our con, like that is our logo that we like. It was so cool of a logo that we're just keeping it. I didn't buy the word with blog and. I don't think they can get that with that and sign in there. No.
No?
No?
I don't think.
So, Tim, have you ever played your own game, this or that?
Oh! I've played it on all kinds of games on people's sites. Why? Did you copy my game?
We credit you every time. We say our friend Tim Gillette introduced us to this. So your name gets plugged every time we do one of these.
Wait a minute. Do you know who I plug when I do mine?
No, can't remember.
I learned it from watching Sammy Hagar on Sammy Hagar's Rock and Roll Road Trip. He does it, but he does something different like every time. Mine's kind of systematically, but yeah, I don't take the original. I credit it to people too. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, every and it's just fun because it leaves things on a high note. I mean, when we do our interviews, it's fun anyway because that's just how it rolls. But so. Taco or hamburger? This or that?
Oh, hamburger. Gotta love hamburgers. I actually love smash burger is my favorite hamburger, but I do love second's got to be In-N-Out Burger, and third is McDonald's.
All right.
They're putting it In and Out like 2 miles from our house.
It's the second one in Oregon or something like that. Yeah. So at least the parts of Oregon that's actually Oregon. There's other outskirts that don't count. But so solid book with words or audio?
I'm still a book. I got to see the written words. I actually read more. Actually, more websites I read than I watch videos. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got? Snorkeling or zip lining?
Zip lining. Heck yeah. I would rather fly down a rope down a mountain than go underwater.
So football or basketball? Oh, wait, I'm not going to ask that one.
Truthfully, I'm an NBA fan more than an NFL fan, but right now, yeah, it's not a good subject right now. Yeah.
Okay, here's an easy one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Hell
2
yeah.
shots of espresso, a little bit of whipped cream, I'm good.
There you go.
Ooh, I've liked that one. That was a go-to for a while.
All right. Bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
All right.
But unless you've been to Pennsylvania, they have a thing there called scrapple. And I'm telling you, if you've never had scrapple, get it and try it. You got to fry it up in a pan. It's real good. Oh my God, it's made of junk, but it's so good.
So like Philadelphia or like suburbs?
Yeah, Philadelphia. It's like Pennsylvania Dutch type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put that on the list.
Google scrapple. You'll figure it out.
Scrapple.
All right. Truth or dare?
Dare.
That doesn't surprise me. Here we go. Toilet paper over or under? You gotta ask.
Mine sits on top of the roll, so I don't have to dispute it.
There you go. There you go. Could that be because of a cat?
Yeah.
All right. Facebook or Instagram?
That's a toss there because I'm highly energetic on both of those platforms. They're my 2 highest. I probably have a larger following on Facebook than I do because I have several thousand on Facebook, and Instagram I only got about 1,200 right now.
All right.
Okay, last question. Would you rather be right or be rich?
I don't know. I've never thought that through. Boy, that's good. Because I'm never right anyway, so I might as well be rich. Come on, I'm never right. Yeah.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for taking some moments out of your day to come visit with us and our audience. I know most of our audience, actually, almost all of our audience could have some more exposure out there. And we'll definitely put the links in there, and we will be seeing more of you as we increase our exposure.
Cool. Cool. I love it. You guys are doing a great thing. All right. You guys are great people, so I appreciate you. And appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and see you tomorrow at 10:10. Generator Coaching.